morning, Mr. Mitsides. My name is Yorgos. I am the Managing Director of Eurosuccess Consulting. Eurosuccess is one of the partners of E-EMPORIO European Project, which is focusing on the development of training materials for companies interested to be more further developed or initially developed in exporting activities of their products or services. Those training materials will be integrated in an e-tool and it will be available for executives and employees who are focusing on this exporting activity. First of all, I would like to thank you for your time for our interview. And this interview is being implemented in the premises of the best practices of exporting companies in each partner country. First of all, I would like you to share with us the name of the company, the year of establishment, and the products and scope of the products of Mitsides.
Well, the name of the company is Mitsides Public Company Limited. We were established in 1932 and we have 362 employees, and we focus on the manufacturing and distribution of flour, pasta, and as well as distribution of raw materials for confectionery.
Thank you very much. What is the overall vision of the company from the day that started till today, in general?
Yes, well, the vision of the company is basically to maintain our dominance in the local market, as well as to expand in the international market through exports and through strategic alliances as well.
Very well. And now in the practical issues of the exporting, when exactly did the company started exporting the products, and what were the first difficulties, positiveness, and so on?
Well, the first export of the company was somewhere in the 60s. It was a Group H export to the UK. Small quantities, and you can imagine back then the whole world was a bit more apart, so things were not as easy as they are today. Gradually the company developed, and we made our first more serious exports, let's say, in the 80s. The main export was done in Lebanon in the mid-80s. And since then, that particular customer is one of our best customers up to date.
Lebanon.
Yes.
And now we are talking about the exporting countries. Which are the main ones? And if you could divide them by percentage of exporting revenues for Mitsides company.
Yes, I would say that around 70 to 75% belongs to flour exports. We export to some pizza chain companies. We export flour to the whole Middle East and Gulf region, as well as some countries in North Africa, Pakistan as well, Afghanistan, Vietnam. All these exports constitute around 75% of the total export revenue, and the remaining of the exports are pasta exports to the UK market and the Lebanon market. Very well.
And which factors do you think that made Mitsides company one of the pioneer exporting companies of Cyprus to be such a successful one?
Well, there are many factors that enabled us to maintain the quality, let's say, of the exports that we do. One of them is the quality of the product. We are always dedicated to the quality of the product, and we always try, and it's our main effort to deliver always the same quality product in every occasion.
And to improve it continuously.
Exactly. Now there are many factors that enable us to maintain and improve our exports, if that's what you are asking. One very important factor is the support we have from the government through the meaning is project, which is a substitute from the European Union through the trade of commerce, and that enables us to participate in some food exhibitions and be present to some very important expos, and you have exposure, you meet potential new customers, so it's a big help.
Basically, this was one of my later questions.
Okay.
What are the available skills, support, assistance of any organization, national or of other entity in Cyprus? So, the Ministry of Commerce.
This is one example, and of course the daily assistance that we receive from many other government
grants.
Government sections, like for example the Ministry of Health, embassies, through the export documentation, the legalization of documents, let's say. Sometimes we need some documents to be done very urgently, and everybody responds. So this is a huge help for us.
So you could say that being supported by relevant stakeholders is a very important aspect for success.
Absolutely important. Otherwise, there would be huge problems.
Okay, very well. And now in the training issue as such, have Mitsides executives, employees, etc., from the start of the exporting activities been delivered any specific exporting training till now? And if yes, in which issues?
Some yes, and in part you learn while working as well. I mean,
in practice.
You learn new practices and you adapt. I personally studied international business, and this enabled me to gain a better understanding of the international aspect of business, different cultures, the export documentation, some best practices for exports. My assistant attended many seminars that enabled her to better practice communication and improve communication skills as well. It's a constant learning process. I mean, you cannot say that you will be prepared for everything, and it's something that you learn through
ongoing.
Yes.
Do you think that there are some specific issues and sectors of exports in which you could need further education and training assistance? That you have some, let's say, needs?
I would say that one thing that would be important would be to be always updated on the different requests from different countries, like the import
administration issues.
Exactly. I mean, different countries have different requirements
and rules,
and these requirements change. They don't stay the same. Like for example, recently there were some changes in the Arab countries that we export. Some countries have asked for additional paperwork So I would think that something that would better help us would be to have like an update, constant knowledge on these new requirements. Another example is the US market. They have also recently changed some requirements on the packaging and labeling requirements. This is another example.
Which can affect the whole production line
Exactly.
at the end of the day.
Yes.
And furthermore to this issue, how important is to know the customs and habits of the people of the foreign market?
Yes, this is also very important.
Something that you always have to respect.
Exactly. We're talking about culture here, and culture is very important. Different cultures have different norms, different expectations, different rules. So you need to know all these things, and so that would also be another very interesting seminar.
Knowledge.
Yes.
Okay. And now in regards to the internet use, how important is or is not for your company the usage of the internet in regards to exporting activities, locating new market?
It's very, very important. It's a very, very helpful tool, I would say. You can study a market, a foreign market, through the internet. You can learn about those things we discussed before about cultures through the internet.
Network issues.
Networking, which is crucial. People find you, you can find people through the internet. You can promote your products through the internet, through social media. Now we have Facebook, we have LinkedIn, we have different social platforms that can help enormously. So I would definitely say that the internet is a great help, yes.
And do you think that even in the future, if a training program developed for the usage of the internet exactly for the exporting activities and investigation of new market players, associates, etc., would be something of interest of a company who is exporting in a mass volume?
I think yes, because the internet is a way, I would imagine, of creating something that is not that expensive, but at the same time and gain so much data through it. So if there was something that could connect possible buyers with possible sellers, and at the same time learning things like the cultures of that particular region or country, that would be very, very valuable.
Very good. And as a last question, I would like to ask you if you had in front of you a new company, a new established or not, it doesn't matter, but a new enterer in the exporting market, what would you recommend or suggest to take care of, to plan, organize? What would be the main first steps for that company in order to be successful as Mitsides company?
Well, some things that I would recommend are, first of all, to be realistic and not promise things that you cannot deliver. So be able to show exactly what you can deliver and maintain the quality that you will deliver the first time. Because the customer who imports will expect stability and service. And these are things that you need to maintain at the same level, the highest level, all the time. I would also recommend networking, which is very crucial.
To give emphasis.
Exactly. Companies should always try to expand their network portfolio, let's say, and keep on going to different expos, meeting new people, expanding their portfolio. So I would say that these two things would be the most important ones. Yeah, what I mentioned before, service is very crucial. I mean, when I say service, we're talking about the product, we're talking about the documents that we will send, the way we speak on the phone, visiting them in person as well. One-on-one is always a better way of communicating, especially when we're talking about a different culture. They see you differently once they see you, instead of just listening to you from the phone. So in total, this is what I call service. And it's very, very
And
important.
someone who should have in mind.
Yes.
And just in closing, what are the future plans, strategies, thoughts of the company for the further expansion and establishment abroad?
Well, the plans are that we have a target to increase our exports, to further participate in exhibitions, expand our network, but at the same time doing everything we can to keep the high level of service and quality that we currently provide. Another important factor that enabled us to expand our export markets was we were able to find some niche markets, and this is a very important concept. A niche market is a way of entering a market, and at the same time it gives you an advantage because, for example, we entered the UK market through the concept of ethnic chefs. We produce some products that are considered to be ethnic, so it was a specific channel that we could go through that channel as long as we have these ethnic products, and this enabled us to enter a market that otherwise would be a very difficult, almost impossible thing to do. Another important of a niche market is in our flour export business. We were approved by a huge pizza chain company, and that enabled us to, of course, we had to do a lot of things in order to be approved. We were inspected in Cyprus, we had to invest, we had to become better, and we had to be patient and waited a few years, let's say, until we were ready to do that and be approved. But once we got that approval, we entered that particular market, and that was a channel again that enabled us to do some very good exports, and up to now we're still doing that. And it's a channel that, again, I call it a niche market. It's a different market than the one that you compete in general.
So you could say that for a Cypriot company being able to allocate their niche, it's a very important factor for success compared to the big players abroad.
Yes, for everyone, I would recommend that there is a way to enter a niche market, as long as you know your product, as long as you think of a possible niche market, and then it's a matter of dedication, commitment, patience,
and being able to allocate opportunities.
Exactly. Yes.
Yes. Now, Stelios, in regards to the sales revenues of the exports, overall, what would you say that is the percentage of exporting revenues versus to the domestic ones?
Well, the exports constitute around 10% of the total sales turnover. But our target, of course, is to further expand our exports and increase our percentage. And this is one of the main targets of the company. So this is something that we definitely want to increase.
And do you observe an increase of the exporting revenues through years?
Yes.
Is it constant or?
Through the last years we have a steady, slow increase, and but we are all this is a commitment from us that we want to continue that and make it even bigger.
So let's say from the 60s till today, the increase is...
It's an upward trend, yes. Yes.
Very well, very well. Okay, this was it. If you have any last comment to share?
No, it was very interesting, the subject, and I hope that more companies in Cyprus engage in exports, and that I hope that the program will be developed that will enable further exports.
And this is our purpose, and when this will be fully utilized, the training program, Mitsides company as well as some other companies and stakeholders, you will be invited to pilot test it, share with us your important comments and suggestions, so we will further fine-tune it, finalize it, and of course it will be in the further usage and update of your disposal in the future, yes, so as to develop your employees.
We will be glad to see it, and we wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.